started 4 days ago with 462 players. We are down to these 6. There you see our chip leader from New York, Andy Frankenberger, with about $3 million in chips.
Makes it 60,000 to go. Right behind him, though, Tom Broadbent has picked up a pair of kings.
Now, Tom's been kicked around the first couple pots, but now he's got the cards to do some kicking of his own here. I think when you're on a short stack, you can't fool around here.
But he's going to fool around. Just calls it.
I'm not fond of this play. That price is the big blind end to call, but Jared Jaffe throws the ace high away. So here we go. Let's see if the slow play works. Oh, and it might, as Andy has now flopped the top pair. He's got 2 jacks.
And Broadbent going to dig the hole, put the twigs and the leaves over it, waiting for the sucker to fold in. Will it be Andy?
When you raise with a jack-9, you flop top pair. Certainly you're going to like it. So Andy is reaching for chips, and he's going to bet 150,000.
Mullen.
And he does the correct thing, pushes it all in.
I call.
And Andrew's going to call with top pair, and you can't blame him for that. And right now, Titan Tom trying to hit a home run to stay alive, and does it right on the turn as the king comes off. Andy is drawing dead, as we say. No card in the river can save him. The deuce of spades. So there you go.
And Kyle Wilson's holding a monster pocket aces. The 2-day lawyer looks down to suited connectors, 7-8 of spades.
That's the kind of hand you like to see flops with. So he's probably going to play this hand, but better flop a lot to crack these aces. He does make the call.
Danger lurks here for Jared Jaffe.
And it might lurk for Kyle. Now flop comes 6-6 deuce. No help to either player. Action on Jared. Of course, Kyle doesn't need any help. He's got the 2 aces.
Now Kyle with a monster hand, gonna check again.
Well, slow playing it. Makes it look like he's got 2 big cards that aren't paired. And now an 8 comes off. This could spell trouble for Jared. He's gonna check the 8s here.
And Kyle's gonna make it 150,000.
Well, that's Jared's very well raised here. The guy didn't bet on the flop.
There is.
And that's exactly what's happening. That slow play on the flop by Kyle Wilson could work to perfection for him right here, because his opponent has check raised on the turn.
Whoa, makes it 350,000 to go.
You can only slow play so long in poker.
I'm all in.
And there it is. He has gone all in. Doesn't care anymore. Got me beat. You got me beat.
I'll tell you, a tough decision for Jared here. The way this hand is played, he knows the only way he's beat here is if his opponent deliberately slow played a giant pair on the flop. Can the 2-day lawyer solve the case here?
Easy to read a jury than Kyle Wilson.
And you can read his facial expressions. It equals pain. He makes the right lay down. He does fold it, and Kyle Wilson picks up the pot.
Kyle Wilson's friends on the rail celebrating.
You pick it at pair. Just get check for me then.
So from New York City, he's going to fold this one. Tom Broadbent.
He's got a jack-9 here. Ironically, what Tom said he's going to do with his money is invest it in real estate. So the former baseball player on the short stack now, but Vince, look at this. Going to raise it up front, as we say.
He's a gambler in early position with just jack-9. Makes it 75,000 to go.
It's a daring play here.
2-day lawyer goes out. Kyle Wilson not going to play. Tommy Lee ejects. And now it's on the restaurant owner, Franco Brunetti. Has an Italian restaurant in Hollywood right by here.
He's got the big blind here, but a pretty nice hand. Ace-10 of hearts. He's going to make the call here. So here comes the flop. And Tom going to continue with the larceny here. Going to make the continuation bet with nothing.
Yep. Looks like 80,000. Now Brunetti. Oh, this is surprising. He's going to stick around. He's called it.
Just called. Must think his ace-10 is the best hand here, which indeed it is.
Oh, he gets the 10 there on the turn. Pair of 10s.
Well, this card's going to give him a lot more confidence here.
You think?
He's not going to check it anymore in case his opponent's got something like king-queen. He's going to lead right out and bet 155,000.
Mullen.
What is going on? Broadbent going all in, and a quick call by Brunetti.
Well, the former baseball player about to strike out here. He's going to need an 8 for a straight or a jack to win this pot to stay alive.
He just thought he could muscle out
Oh, boy.
the restaurant, man.
The baseball player down about 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and it's 0-2 on him.
Can the baseball player get lucky?
Oh, he does.
He did it.
He hits an 8. And Beth, look how fast he jumped up. I guarantee he never ran to first base that fast in his life. Oh, that last spot on a horrible beat on the river. Now he's short stack. Franco Brunetti's all in here with king high against the 8 high of Kyle Wilson, who's looked him up. Now Kyle's going to have to get lucky to eliminate him and see if he can do it. Oh, he did. It's so far.
Their man on, turn card coming up.
Nope.
Well, it's a queen of diamonds. It's not going to do it for Franco Brunetti. Got this tournament to a satellite. A real gentleman.
So Franco Brunetti going to be our 6th place finisher.
Very creative player, and this time proving that again. Going to raise it to 100,000. Now, Mr. Brooklyn, Jared Jaffe. Jared's got a decent queen jack here. He's considering this.
Yeah. Former collegiate baseball player raises with the 5-4. Jared's going to make the call with the queen jack.
Kyle Wilson with just 9-7, also going to make the call. Who will be lucky? Oh,
All 3 players have flopped a pair. Jared has flopped top pair. He's going to check.
yep.
Kyle's flopped middle pair. He also checks.
And now a continuation bet. Nope. Brabant also checking. To the turn we go.
Oh, and a 7 comes off.
Oh, no.
How many times tonight at this table have we seen the slot machine come up? 3 7s.
For the Canadian, now he's been checked into now how to play a 3 of a kind. What a card for him.
And he's going to bet right out with him, man.
Yeah, looks like 200,000.
Because we didn't bet on the flop.
Wow, Tom is going to give a little something here to it with just a pair of 4s, 200 grand.
And he's going to make the call. And now Jared's got a tough decision. Remember, nobody bet the flop. Now all of a sudden it's been bet and called on the turn. I think you get away from this hand, even if you got the best hand here.
Oh, he's going to do the opposite. He's shoved.
Well, Jared doesn't
Count
think
that,
so.
please.
He has shoved his stack in over the top. Now Kyle's thinking to himself, okay, do I re-raise this guy behind me? How to play this properly? Well, you can't lay down 3 7s though. Not with a small stack like this.
You still got a man behind you, remember that.
Call.
But Kyle is going to make the call.
And Tom Brabant goes away.
Got a 7, right? I have a 7.
What a disaster here for the 2-day lawyer. Here comes the river.
That's the king.
Well, a big effort for Jared. Disappointing, but he is going to take home 86,000. The Royal Flush Girls, they're at every WPT event, along with Kimberly Lansing, Mike Sexton, and myself. And he is going to pop it up. Makes it 110,000 to go.
Tommy Lee going out.
Now Andy Frankenberger. He's a former equity derivatives trader. Very smart guy.
Let's see a flop.
Well, as you can see, not afraid to play as he makes the call here with just a 6-5. And it looks like a good thing maybe because he's taking the lead with 2 5s as well as a gut shot straight draw.
He has bet it.
A deuce or a 6 would make him a straight.
Here comes the turn card. Wow.
Deuce at diamonds comes off. This gives Kyle a straight. Let's give Andy a flush draw to go along with a straight draw, but he's going to have help to win this pot. With 3 diamonds out there, you're saying to yourself, could this guy really have a flush? Kyle's just calling here.
Down to the river we go.
Oh, and the queen of diamonds comes off, and now Andy does have the flush, and he has the best hand.
How much is that?
Oh,
Not a big bet. 175,000 is always bet here.
Andy, what do you have?
You can see the disgusted look in Kyle's face.
What do you got left?
Well, there he looks like a bobblehead doll going sideways.
So lucky.
and Frankenberger's going to put a little extra ketchup on the burger because he just took down Kyle. Kyle, disgusted, saying, "You are so lucky. Welcome to the WPT."
So that shows you he's Mensa quality.
Well, he's called it. Tom Brabant with just a 9-6 in the small blind.
Well, Tom, the former baseball player in college, going to make the call.
And Kyle with a king 4. Has an option to raise, but he says okay.
So we got three-way action here. Let's come ace, king, 5 with 2 clubs. Kyle out in front with the 2 kings. Andy, of course, with the flush draw. Tom is checked. Kyle is checked. Will Andy bet the flush draw? Both opponents check to him. He's on the button.
He's going to bet at 150,000. Titan Tom will not call. He folds.
Well, Kyle, who just got burned by Andy a minute ago, is going to call him with the 2 kings here. And you wonder if Kyle's going to be steaming here. Deuce of clubs comes off.
Oh, man. Andy Frankenberger's hit his flush just like that.
There's no card Kyle can catch to win this pot.
Well, he's checked it wisely.
Let's see how Andy's going to play this hand. And he's reaching for chips. He's definitely going to bet 500,000. Now that's more money that's in the pot. So this is a huge bet after making this flush on the turn. Here, whatever Kyle puts in the pot is just going by the boards.
Wow.
There's a $500,000 you can say goodbye to.
Frankenberger is getting the action he wants.
And the 4 diamonds comes off. This gives Kyle 2 pair. He now has kings and 4s.
Check.
And could get in much further trouble. He's checked.
All in.
Wow, Andy has gone all in here. Again, that's more money that's in the pot.
And he is going to raise it. Makes it 140,000. Tom Lee out, Frankenberger out. And now it's around to Titan Tom Braband.
Well, Tom, the former collegiate baseball player, looks down at Kojak. He's got the king jack.
I'm all in. Call.
Well, he's made the call, so we've got the classic race situation. The 2 overcards versus the under pair. So far, so good for the Canadian. Kyle out in front with the 2 9s. As the flop comes queen 7-4. Stay alive in this tournament. Doesn't come on the turn as an 8 comes off, so we're down to the river. A king or a jack doesn't do it as the 9 comes off. I happen to think Andy is right here and has a right to see his hand if he wants to see it.
Let's go to the fell. Tom Lee now looking down at a pair of jacks and the button. Great starting hand.
Yeah, especially in a 3-handed poker game.
And he's putting out the raising chips like he should. Makes it 250,000 to go. Now Andy's going to fold. Only one to beat is Kyle, but look at this, Mike. He's got a pair of kings.
Unbelievable. Well, this could spell big trouble for Tommy Lee right here. Kyle comes over the top. He's going to raise it. Makes it 650,000 to go.
400,000, right?
Yep.
Tommy just calls with 2 jacks. Does not re-raise here. Now it's come queen 10-5. So there is an overcard to the jacks out there, but Kyle out in front with the 2 kings. And once he's checked, I don't blame Tommy Lee for betting here.
Yeah, he's going to bet all right, $1 million.
Look at this little acting job. The deep breath, sitting back in the chair. Now he's going to look back down at his cards here.
Yep. Usually the guy sighs and moves around in his seat like that with the shoulders back. You know he's got something pretty good.
I'm all in.
And he's going to push all in.
Now, you wouldn't think a guy would go through all that gyration and acting there if he was bluffing. And his Canadian buddy's on their feet now. Looks like he's got a strong hand the way he's been acting. Indeed he does.
You like a call, wouldn't you?
Just out of curiosity, that's the only reason I want.
No, you don't care about money.
Well, Tommy Lee's going to lay it down, and I believe Kyle did a little too much chatter there.
I'm all in.
And he's saying all in. And now Kyle Wilson has an ace-7 of spades.
I call.
Wow, he's made the call and he's dominated at this point. He's got big kicker problems.
Oh, it's come 9-7 deuce. Andy knows he's in great shape now.
Oh boy, the Railbird's getting angry.
Well, a jack comes off, so we're down to the river. And one more time, Kyle's got to hit a slot machine to win it. Make 3 7s. Doesn't happen. As the queen of hearts comes off.
And he is going to bump it up, makes it 275,000. But Kyle behind him with ace-9. Quick to call.
So as the cards lie, Andy has him dominated. Ace-king versus ace-9. And what a flop for Andy as it comes queen jack 10.
The cinch, the nuts. What do you do? Trap it. Dig the hole, put the branches and the twigs over it. Wait for the big sucker, Kyle, to fall in.
He does have an open end straight throw, but the best he can do is tie this hand.
That's a call. It's a call.
Kyle's exactly right. That was what we call a string raise.
Really? Okay.
He didn't have all the chips out there at once. Kyle quickly called him on it.
Next card.
He said, that's a call. Now, to me, that's a bit of a tell that you don't have anything yet. Now he's caught the king. He's made the ace-high straight, too. Both players have the ace-high straight, but Andy has the ace-high flush draw to go along with his straight. He's on the free roll.
There's 3 diamonds out there. And Andy Frankenberger's going to bet 775.
Well, Kyle has hit the best card he could hit right here.
He has called it. Another
The
diamond.
5 of diamonds does come off.
So sick. So sick.
Andy has made the ace-high flush. Now the question is, how much to bet to get paid off?
Would you have called it if I raised before?
Would I have called it?
The Burger's starting to talk now, ask questions.
That is a weird question to ask at this stage before you bet.
I'm all in.
God.
And now he's going all in.
How does he say?
A huge overbet here in my mind.
This is going to put Kyle into the rubber room.
Can you count that, please? That's unbelievable.
Not to be. Kyle figures it out, lays down the hand. Good fold.
Well, Kyle laid down the ace-high straight. A good laydown by him.
Mike, you got to say, being one of the older guys, we're not getting any respect.
Well, the young guns do feel like they're more aggressive, that the older players are more passive. And as Ahmet said, he thinks they're easier to read.
Have they met Doyle lately? All right, back to the action.
Kyle Wilson looks down at queen 4 spade in a small blind. He's going to raise it. Makes it 225,000 to go.
Tom Lee, he's got king 5 of diamonds. And he's going to stick around.
And he's got position. He's got more chips. He's going to make the call. And flop comes queen, jack 10. Kyle out in front now with the 2 queens.
And he's first to act, and he's going to bet at 150,000.
Tommy Lee has the open-end straight draw on the backdoor flush draw. And he's going to make the call. I bet he took off his hat there.
It's a little different about the hat. Here comes the turn card. It's a 4 of hearts. That makes queens and 4s for Kyle.
Oh, nice card for Kyle as he now has queens up. Well, there's nearly 800,000 in the pot. Kyle's going to bet 350,000.
He's going to make Tommy Lee pay for it if he wants to draw.
Tommy Lee, as the cards lie, must catch the straight to win the pot.
I'm all in.
Wow. He is going all in here on a stone bluff, folks. Unbelievable. Kyle knows the 4 didn't help this guy.
Unreal. Kyle Wilson perplexed. If he should make this call and his hand stand up, he'd be a massive chip leader.
I have no clue what you have, Tom.
But he's in a quandary right now.
Can you beat 2 pair?
Remember, his opponent called him on the flop and now has moved all in on the turn. After a 4, it can be no help at all to the guy.
Are you tired? Why are you doing that?
Tommy Lee, great poker face, trying to cover his whole persona there. Doing a good job of it. Not letting a smart player like Kyle read him. Kyle is going to lay it down.
Show me bluff one time. One time, please. Show me. One time, please.
Can't show.
Oh, please do. Tommy, put a little salt in that blood. He's not going to do it, though.
Believe me, Kyle, you don't want to see it, my friend.
Oh, wow. And the 1 to 10 comes up. Card was irrelevant. Tommy wouldn't have gotten there.
That might have been the whole tournament. Might have been able to call that.
That is the bluff of the tournament. Well done for Tommy Lee. Happy to just call that. Mr. Frankenberger with a jack 5. Content to see a flop.
And he's got clubs. And 2 clubs come on the flop. But Tommy has flopped top and bottom pair. He's got queens up.
What a flop for Tommy Lee. Queens and 5s, and he's going to bet at 300,000.
Vance, it's not going to shock me if we see a big pot brew right here on the flop.
I raise.
Because Andy's got one of those hands that it doesn't matter what his opponent has.
Yep.
All in.
And he does so. He has gone all in.
And you can't blame him. He's got 2 pair, queens up. I'd move all in there too. And I'd call if I was Andy.
Yeah.
It's just one of those hands that sort of plays itself.
I call.
Yep, he's going to call it.
Yeah, Tommy's probably not going to like what he sees here. He knows the flush could beat him. Oh, club! 4 clubs right on the turn.
Come on, come on, come on.
It is not over yet, though. Well, a 7 comes off. Andy Frankenberger makes another flush to win another pot.
Unreal.
Well, Andy Frankenberger is now the big chip leader with 3 players left. Can this highly educated guy from Duke, playing in his first ever WPT event here in the States, take down this title? We shall see. Let's get back to the table.
Misfortune for Tommy Lee. He is just licking his wounds right now as he picks up ace-8 here, and he's going to shove all in.
Well, you can't blame him for that.
I call.
Frankenberger behind him with ace-7 of clubs has called. And Kyle Wilson with a queen-8 also going to call.
Well, this gives them 2 chances to knock Tommy out of this tournament, where they can play heads up for this title. It's pretty much an unwritten rule. You're not going to bet here unless you got the nuts almost.
Here's the flop. King 9-4 helps no one at the table. Frankenberger going to check the side pot potential. Kyle does as well. Queen on the turn. Kyle takes the lead with queens.
Well, it's gone check, check again.
Down to
Here
the
comes
river.
the river card. The jack of clubs comes off. This gives Andy the ace-high flush. Another flush he makes on the river.
Kyle looking impatient.
Clock.
Oh boy, he's calling the
I, just
clock.
want, I want to keep playing. Like,
Can't take it anymore.
400.
Well, I think that's the frustration of laying down
Yep.
those queens
Fold.
up, Vance. Now the guy's betting 400,000.
And Kyle ejects his hand, and Tommy sees his fate. It's not good.
Nice hand, Andy.
He is gone.
Well, that's going to do it for Tommy Lee. Gets very unlucky those last couple pots.
Very entertaining player. He's going to go home with close to 175,000.
He's sitting on 2.6 million.
Frankenberger in his first ever WPT event in the United States. Kyle with a queen 10 is going to raise it up to 240. Behind him, Andy Frankenberger with a king 9 offsuit.
Call.
And he's going to make the call. And the flop comes king 10-5. Andy has flopped 2 kings. Kyle has flopped 2 10s. And Vince, so many times tonight we've seen this guy lead right out into the pre-flop raiser. He's doing it again here with 2 kings.
He takes the play away. That's 300,000.
Well, it confused Kyle before. Liable to confuse him here again, and indeed, Kyle making the call with the 2 10s. You just automatically think the guy would check if he had kings to check raise you.
8 of clubs on the turn.
800.
Andy just keeps firing away. 800,000.
Andy, what do you got?
A lot of respect for this player, and makes a good lay down right
Turn
there.
the bluff.
Well, Andy's bet 275,000, and Kyle's picked up ace-3 of diamonds. Also a pretty good hand playing heads-up poker. Unfortunately for Kyle, he is out-kicked here, as we say.
I'm all in.
Wow, he is going to ship it. He says all in. He can afford
I
to
call.
gamble, and he's going to make the call.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason he can call, Vance, because he can afford to make this call. Kyle's head down. He knows you got to get lucky to stay alive here.
Here comes the flop.
Wow, what a flop. Unbelievable. Jack of hearts on the turn. It's a 6 of spade. Andy Frankenberger made a lot of flushes at this final table, but to take the title,
I see a flop,
Andy
I go broke
dodged
it.
it. May all your cards be live and your pots be monster.